G'day Minecrafters, and how you going? Stevo here with another video, and today I wanted to make a behind the scenes sort of explanatory video for you for my capture the flag map. Now I'll try to be brief, so I may not cover everything covered in the book, which you can obtain from pressing those buttons there. If I don't, that's still a bit of reading you can do to learn more about the map. I'll try to cover all the basics though, so you can get a game underway and whatever and enjoy the map. Before I begin, please be aware that what I'm currently playing and what I'll have up as a replacement download is the most current version of this map. I had to make a few enhancements and a few changes, just a few bits of redstone, just a few fixer-upper things. Just minor bugs, don't worry too much about it, but things that didn't show up in the beta tests, which I noticed afterwards. So yeah, be aware, please, if you've already downloaded this, download it again. If not, well then you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, so this room here is the room you would start in, and you would need to have, select 2 players from just 2 players, anyway. Who would be the captains for each team. One team being the blue team and one team being the red team. It doesn't matter who's who as long as you have a player for each team. Now, what those 2 people will do is organize together the rest of the people that are there into teams. There are a number of ways you can obviously organize teams. You can have the team captains select players one at a time. You can also just tell half the room to go one side, half to go the other, and then make sure the numbers are even. Whatever you want to do, it doesn't really matter as long as there are 2 teams and they're even. If they're not even, as close to even as you can get. Anyway, so the team captains would stick around, but their teams would go down here. The team captain sticking around is a very important aspect, as it means that if there are any latecomers, they can tell them which side to go to, if that is the case, and if there is an uneven number prior to that. So players would come down here or down the other side and get in one of these little booths, or whatever you would call them, alcoves. This one obviously being different because it's got the number of spawns on it, and lay in one of the beds to set their spawn. Meanwhile, while these guys are all down here and waiting to start, the captains would be, when they're satisfied, walk up to here and there and press their relative buttons. So the blue team's a little bit more elaborate than the red teams. Red just drops straight down to that little puddle. And yeah, then they would select the settings for the game. That's the point of the captain. Other than that, the captain is no different to any other player in the game. So this here is the console room, explained in the book on page 21, and it is here that the game settings are set up. Now, what you need to know is that there are primarily 2 things that need to be set that are mandatory. Everything else is optional, and I'll explain everything else. I'll go over the various buttons and stuff like that, so that you get an idea of how this stuff works. So first thing let's set, seeing as the display here, is the time. We can set the time by pulling any assortment of levers. So we've got 20 and 5, that gives us 25. Or we can go 15 or 55 or whatever. Let's just go with 15. Why not? It's a nice, I've always liked the number 15. Time set. And the time should appear over here. That there being your minutes and seconds. Now we can also set our number of spawns. Let's put in 49, why not? It's the closest one to me. Now just a note, if you are going to have a longer game, the chances are the scores will max out before you hit the end of your time. So if you are going to want to have a longer game, you may need to put in a few disables just to change your game mode a little bit or spice things up and stop things from ending prematurely before the timer. And then we'll store our spawns, which we've selected. Now, before I press save settings, let me explain all the disables which I just mentioned. The first one is to disable the time limit, so that could mean not even worrying about that. But it also will turn off the time both here and in game, and so you won't be able to see it. So you'll know the time has been disabled. It won't just be the time not moving, so it must be disabled. The next is disable scores. Now there's a score tally in game, which it will do the same thing to. It will make it disappear. You can pull that to disable the scores. Disabling objective point score just basically means that you won't get points for objective points. There are 4 objective points in the map, and they give they're the easiest to obtain, but 1 point every 30 seconds, as opposed to the bases, which give a little bit more. So you can disable objective point score if you want to kind of tighten things up a bit and use only bases and PvP as the sources of score. You can also disable the spawn limit. That's what disable spawns means. It doesn't mean that you can't spawn. It just means that you're not tallied for your spawns. And the next one is disable base victory. Now this is probably the most common disable that you will use. And what it basically does is it means that if one team holds all the bases for 20 seconds, they won't automatically win. Normally it is the case if one team is to hold all bases for, not counting objective points, they're not counted in this, but if one team holds all bases for 20 seconds, they automatically win, regardless of the other team's score, or if they've only got one spawn left. It doesn't matter. It doesn't take any of that to account. Doesn't matter how much time is left. If the time's up, it won't matter. It won't count. So be aware of that. Disabling base victory is probably the most common one you'll use. Yeah. So let's save all the settings, and before I do that, I'll explain these two. This is to disable to reset the class gate. This is in the event that someone tries to troll and break the system. When you select your class, which you'll be able to do when the game is started and when people are on the ready markers, there are various gates you would enter to select your class. Now, there are a number of ways in which someone can jam the gates. Nothing to do with the redstoning, just them being stupid. One of them being that they try to rush back for a second class and then don't make it, or they do make it and it gets stuck, or if they were to... There's a number of ways they could do it. Try to skip over the pressure plate, which counts spawns. You know, it doesn't matter. However they do it, this button resets that. And so it's a fail-safe, basically, because there were a couple of times during the beta test where one guy was trying to be smart and ended up freezing the gate, and I had to manually come in and fix it, whereas this button here is to fix that. Now, you'll be able to know that the gates are bugged. The captains would ask if the gates were bugged. Let me go over there before I start the game and show you what I mean. So down here, you'll notice this is where the this is what I'm talking about. See those lamps there? If those lamps are all up and you haven't even entered yet, then it's jammed on either side. If not, then you're free to start. But if they are and you haven't started yet, there's a reset switch here, which we'll talk about later. Let me just get back into the console room. Like I said, I can't get back in the way I was, and I haven't saved settings yet, so I can still get in this way. I'll get in the red one this time. It's just straight down. Yeah, let's save settings, and the timer should start counting down. If the timer doesn't count down, then you've probably done then something's probably bugged in the redstone, and you need to just basically reset and re-put in the settings. It doesn't take that long to do. All you'd probably have to do is just repress time set and one of those, because that one, the levers are already down, so you wouldn't have to change much. But yeah, the timer's counting down. I don't really want to play the game because it's only me in here, but I will show you something cool. Me lagging, that's what I wanted to show you. Anyway, this here, there's one of these on either side, and this is an emergency reset. As you can see here, the light is on. That means the other team has activated their emergency reset or master reset. This is in the case of emergencies, or if one team surrenders or something like that. How this is achieved is if I was to press this button, this lamp would stay on. If this one wasn't enabled, then it would anyway. But because this one's already on, I prepared it earlier. When I press this, both of these will reset, and this gate up here, awesome, map hasn't loaded. This gate, which is here and closed, will open, and I will be able to get back into the console room from the top, which currently is also locked. And all the game settings will reset as well. So let me press that, seeing that I have no intention of playing the game right now. So that stays on, and then giving a second, when everything's reset, both of them turn off. So like if I was to say, well, hang on, why am I lagging? If I was to say, yep, okay, I want to surrender or something, or I need to reset, I press the button. As you notice, it's staying on. I can disable that by pressing the button again. And yeah, so pretty simple, pretty easy to work. And why are we getting this massive delay up here? There we go, it's working. Now, because I don't have any game settings set up or anything, that shows the number of spawns again, I'll just bash my way through. Why not? And show you what I mean by a few other things. So this is where I would select my class. There are 4 classes to choose from, and on the other side, it's not quite mirrored, but yeah, you'll be able to select one of the 4. Just read the sign first, because it's not in the exact same location on the other side. That glass there is in place so that you can receive the arrow. I tried a number of different ways to give the range of the arrow without shooting him or her, and this is the method I found that worked. Just putting a glass pane there. So the other dispensers are all hidden. Let me just, I'll be the ranger, why not? I love being a ranger. Ranger is my favourite. And if you can't pick something up like this, jump. Pretty simple. And yeah, so I can't, I'm all done now. I can't dual wield, so if I walk on this or any of those, nothing happens. That pressure plate at the end of the walkway is what resets the thing. Now this is what I mean by the game will jam up. So this door back here is locked, and that's because the game isn't started. Players can, well, in effect, run here, then try and run back. Every time you step on this, it takes a spawn off your tally, so you lose a spawn for your team. Let me just put some stuff in my inventory. Yeah, that'll do. I'll bash my way through here. There we go. And then I would fall down here. Get rid of that. And be in this room. Now this room here is for brewing potions, obviously. Each class is given a piece of gunpowder, which I won't put in there just yet, and 3 potions, or 4 potions, or whatever. It all depends on the class. The battle mage and the healer obviously receive a lot more than the other 2 classes, but you put in gunpowder to make them splash potions, because you can't dispense and keep a splash potion. Skipping ahead slightly, well, not quite enough. We should be able to see our potions turn into splash potions, so they're ready now for use. And obviously we have some armor to put on, but I can't be bothered. So then we would enter the map. We'd be ready to go. Now you've got an Infinity 1 bow as an archer, so you can just keep firing arrows for as long as you want. Doesn't matter, you're not going to run out of arrows. Now the bases, which actually I'll show you in a minute, but this is the blue major base, give different amounts of points depending on which team is claiming them and all sorts. This thing back here is a GUI that shows what bases are owned and by whom and things like that. So this here, this blue line, is to signify this biome that I'm in, which is the end biome. And that there is the Ender main base, which is currently not owned by red by the lights not being on, and is owned by blue. Likewise, this is the blue miner base, which is also owned by blue. You can tell who owns the team by which color is lit up. This is the neutral zone, which we'll look at in a moment, also the jungle. So green for jungle. So this is the neutral main base, and this is currently on like not owned by anyone, so neither color is on because it's not owned by anyone. And these 4 are the objective points. Likewise, this is the red or nether biome at the other side, with the red major base and minor base owned by red. You can see also that the objective points currently have 2 for each team. So this one and this one are owned by red, and this one are owned by blue. Let's go to the neutral the neutral jungle base, which is just here, and I'll show you how the base claiming works. So let's claim this in the name of blue because I'm blue. So one more lever, and it's up there, and here it's blue, as well as being blue there and in the roof. So it's very blue right now. And you can disable the base for that team by pulling the lever. Light comes off and also goes there. So you can look throughout the entire map from anywhere you are, there's 3 of them, to see which bases are owned by whom, and this allows you to keep up with what's happening in the map. Also over here is our display. I kind of revamped it a little bit, added a bit of wall to kind of stylize it, and these on the side just show who's won if the game just suddenly stops. The timer down here, which the game has not started, but if the game was on, it would be ticking down. Scores would be ticking up every 30 seconds, and so forth. Spawns are currently on 499 because that's the default, and they didn't go down when I walked on the pressure plate because the game is not started. So yeah, fairly simple. Objective points are similar to bases, but they're claimed by pressing a button. So this is an objective point. It's currently owned by blue. If I press this button, it turns to red. So red is now going to get the points. Like I said, there are 4 objective points, and they're all located throughout the jungle. Here's another little tunnel, and there's one in there, and there's a couple of others which I won't show you because it's part of the fun. Now the jungle has a lot of cool things. You can climb up, bit of parkour going on here. You can jump across the water, you can climb up. There are heaps of different cool things in the jungle. There's a cave here. You know, there's a lot of cool things in throughout this jungle for the player. So day or night, there's still enough light to be able to play. So I designed this map to be able to be played during day or night, which is cool. So like, as you can see, when it's light, it's playable. When it's night, which it was a moment ago, it's also playable. So it's cool. But yeah, there are a number of traps as well throughout the map. A lot of traps in the nether, and not as many in other parts, but there are traps throughout. The red major base is right here. We already looked at the blue major base, so I thought it's only fair that I show you the red major base. And the red team comes in through this area here. And yeah, so I hope you found this video useful. I tried not to cover too much of the mysteries because there are a lot of cool things you can learn when playing this map. Each class has its own inventory and things like that. Read the book for more information. But otherwise, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you do play this and enjoy it with friends, because it is actually a lot of fun. I've had a bit of a play with it myself, and I found it quite enjoyable. So yeah, I'll probably sneak peek, guys. Sneak peek. I might be doing more maps of this theme. So keeping the same redstone, so it won't take as long to make. What just happened? I think it's raining. But keeping the same redstone in place, but changing the arena type, so I can do effectively deserts, jungles, whatever, different arena types. The ones that are playing in my head right now are doing like a desert storm sort of thing, as well as doing maybe a ocean theme where you have pirate ships. There are a lot of cool themes that are coming to mind, but I'll play with them as I go. I'm just kind of waiting for single player commands to come back, because it'll help a lot in the building process. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all of your support, and I hope you follow. If you haven't followed me on this new channel, please do so. I'm trying to rebuild, and despite the annoyance from YouTube, but yeah, it is kind of annoying. There's not much I can do about it though. And sorry about the croaky voice. I've been a bit sick the last couple of weeks, and I'm just starting to come good, but my voice isn't fully there. Anyway, guys, yeah, I'll catch you later. See ya.
Got a little Swedish there.
Yeah.